Hello and welcome back to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. Due to a temporary lockdown on pretty much everything for the emergency situation, we're currently unable to report news from our studio, and instead, we're reporting the channel remotely from home. Well, stay tuned and keep watching. Trump was right. Cuomo admits that New York has a stockpile of ventilators. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo admitted that his state already has thousands of unused ventilators, even as he and the establishment media hammer President Donald Trump over a supposed shortage of the potentially life-saving medical devices in the Empire State. Speaking at his daily news briefing on Friday, the Democratic governor said his state has the unused ventilators in a stockpile. Yes, they're in a stockpile because that's where they're supposed to be, because we don't need them yet, Cuomo said, according to the New York Post. We need them for the apex. The apex isn't here, so we're gathering them in the stockpile, so when we need them, they will be there. Cuomo has insisted that New York might need up to 40,000 ventilators, an estimate which Trump has pushed back on. The president told Fox News host Sean Hannity on Thursday he believed government officials in New York are overestimating how many ventilators the state will need to treat patients diagnosed with the coronavirus. Take a watch.
A feeling that a lot of the numbers that are being said in some areas are just bigger than they're going to be. I don't believe you need 40,000 or 30,000 ventilators. You know, you go into major hospitals sometimes, they'll have 2 ventilators, and now all of a sudden they're saying, can we order 30,000 ventilators? So, look, it's a very bad situation. We haven't seen anything like it. But the end result is we got to get back to work, and I think we can start by opening up certain parts of the country, you know.
The subject of ventilators turned political Friday when multiple establishment media outlets accused Trump of downplaying the need for the devices, which are a commodity for hospitals across the country and not just in New York. Liberal publication Salon wrote that the president dismissed pleas for thousands of life-saving ventilators from Democratic governors in states hit hard by the new coronavirus. CNN, meanwhile, included Trump's skepticism that his home state will need 40,000 ventilators as one of its 30 most outrageous lines from Donald Trump's interview with Sean Hannity. No big deal. Just the President of the United States suggesting that the governor of New York is lying about the number of ventilators he needs to keep people alive. What proof did Trump offer to back up his claim? None. CNN's Chris Cillizza wrote. But as Cuomo and other civic leaders joined the media in calling for more of the devices, Trump pointed out that New York already has thousands of them in storage. Thousands of federal government-delivered ventilators found in New York storage. New York must distribute now, Trump tweeted Friday. Cuomo responded by telling CNN that Trump is grossly uninformed on the issue, before revealing New York has indeed been stockpiling ventilators. Take a watch.
The point is, we have ventilators in a stockpile, and we didn't send them to the hospitals yet. Of course we didn't. That's the whole point. The hospitals don't need them yet. The hospitals aren't at their apex. The hospitals have enough ventilators today, but the numbers are going up. We're planning for an apex, a high point in about 21 days. That's when we need the 30,000 ventilators, not today. Right now, we're putting them in a stockpile.
Cuomo also told NBC Nightly News host Lester Holt on Friday that he is basing his projections on data from worldwide health experts.
President Trump has suggested that maybe you don't need those tens of thousands of ventilators you have spoken about. Were you surprised to hear that, and what's your reaction?
Oh, look, I hope he's right. You know, I hope no one gets sick. I hope no one needs a ventilator. But I don't operate on what I hope or what I would like to see or what my expectation is. I operate on the data and on the numbers and on the science. And every projection I have from multiple sources, and these are worldwide health experts, say that we have to be prepared for an apex of 140,000 hospital beds and 40,000 ICU beds with ventilators.
Melissa DeRosa, one of Cuomo's top aides, admitted New York already has thousands of ventilators, but repeated Cuomo's projection that the state will need tens of thousands more. The 2,000 arrived Wednesday and have been deployed to the strategic stockpile, she tweeted in response to Trump. We don't know which hospitals will have the need yet. This is evolving in real time. The feds gave New Yorkers 2,000. We need 30,000. We have to be smart about what we have and be able to move on a dime. Lives are at stake, she added. Vice President Mike Pence said Tuesday that the federal government had sent 2,000 of the devices directly to New York and added that New Yorkers would receive an additional 2,000 by Wednesday, Fox News reported. Earlier today, FEMA from the National Stockpile shipped 2,000 ventilators to the state of New York, Pence said. Tomorrow, there will be another 2,000 ventilators shipped from the National Stockpile, the Vice President added. Pence's comments came after Trump had already announced that the federal government had sent 400 ventilators to New York. At the time, Cuomo was requesting only 15,000 of the devices. But the number of ventilators being requested continues to climb as the Trump administration responds. It is unclear exactly how many ventilators New York currently has stockpiled. A 2015 ventilator allocation guidelines summary letter from top New York health experts urged the state to prepare for a health emergency, specifically citing a respiratory pandemic, and evaluated a need for the state to allocate more ventilators in the event of a worst-case scenario public health emergency. In a severe public health emergency on the scale of the 1918 influenza pandemic, however, current ventilators would not be sufficient to meet the demand, the experts wrote. Even if the vast number of ventilators needed were purchased, a sufficient number of trained staff would not be available to operate them. If the most severe forecast becomes a reality, New York State and the rest of the country will need to allocate ventilators. Efforts should be made to increase the number of available ventilators, they added. The summary noted that the state had 1,750 ventilators stockpiled, and a total number of 8,991 ventilators were available in the state at the time. Share your thoughts and responses in the comments down below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below, share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. I'm David Ravine, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe.